Stephen is the man with the hat and the metal detector. Whoa, whoa. Walking the land, he's a treasure collector. Whoa, whoa. Metal detecting and digging lots of holes, looking for anything that's old. New videos every week, so please subscribe.
Subscribe. Subscribe. Catch you later.
Hey up, this is me again, and I'm back on one of my very first ever permissions where I found, I think I was 16 weeks into the hobby, that Tudor merchant's ring. Couldn't believe it. I just thought it was a junk ring because I'd never seen a Tudor ring before, and thrilled to find out it was treasure. Now the reason I mention that is because of something else to convey to you, and that is honesty doesn't always pay. Let's put it this way, and those who don't declare their fines, you know, it is up to them. It's not for anyone else, you or me, to judge, because it is voluntary. But when it comes to treasure or suspected treasure, it really should be handed in to the Portable Antiquities Scheme. The fines liaison officer will submit it to the curator of the British Museum, who will decide under the circumstances, and if it matches all the criteria for treasure trove with the 1996 Treasure Act, then it would be declared treasure. End of story. However, sometimes honesty doesn't pay. Nearly 2 years ago, where I found a treasure which I've never really told you about, because people were starting to get fed up with me finding treasure, so I stopped telling people. And this was 3 coins in particular. They were all the annular issue made in Calais by the same Munyer, and in a very close-ish proximity, so the curator of the British Museum declared them to be treasure. Of course, I went to the landowner and told him so. The coroner, of course, decided to release this information into the general public. A newspaper picked it up, and all his friends found out that he'd found treasure, and he was quite, sorry, I'd found treasure, and he was quite annoyed that this treasure trove find on his land had become public knowledge, and it backfired on me. And he made it a condition that I could detect on his land if I don't find treasure again, or if I do, tell him, give him half, but don't tell anyone else. Of course, I can't agree to doing that, and I told him so, so I lost the permission. So honesty doesn't always pay. Anyway, today is the field behind me. Now, I got this permission by accident. You see, the landowner over there led me to believe this was his field because he grazed his sheep on there. In fact, it wasn't, but I didn't know that. So I was detecting on there, and a lady on the house over there, can't see it behind the tree? There we go, there, look. Was walking across a field with her dog, and she approached me and said, "Can I ask what you're doing on here?" And I said, "Well, I'm metal detecting, blah blah blah." She says, "Well, it's my land." And I said, "Well, I got permission off that person over there." And she said, "Oh no, he is a tenant, he rents this field off me." So I profusely apologised. I said, "It's a genuine mistake, for that I am very sorry." And she said, "If you happen to find my 13-year-old daughter's solid silver dog rose pendant, which she'd lost when she was 8 years old, can we have it back?" "Sure," I said, which means, of course, she was allowing me to continue searching, so I did. Anyway, within half an hour, and I made video, within half an hour I actually took it back to her, because I did find it, dug it up and handed it back to the husband, who by this time was in the garden. And it was a delightful experience handing something back, and I think that was probably my first time I'd found something that had been lost by somebody and was able to hand it back. So I've been allowed to keep this permission. I'm now 2.5, 3 years on here, but I've rarely been. It's either been long grass, or it's been bad weather, or very windy, and today the conditions seem pretty nice. So here's a short clip of me handing that dog rose pendant back to the father of the daughter, who was delighted. Over there, I'd lost their daughters several years ago dog rose pendant in this field. I've just found it. Solid silver. And I'm just about to go over and return it to its rightful owner. I found your dog Rose. I don't know how long ago she lost it, but there you go. I like returning things back to the rightful owners.
Fantastic.
Okay, happy with that?
I'm very happy with that. Well done.
Good, thank you for that.
Amazing.
Now I've got a funny thing to tell you. I just left the car while you were watching that to come into the field and get ready. Do you ever sometimes forget things? Like you forgot a probe. Sometimes you forget your spade or whatever. I got onto the field. I've got my drink, my phone, my selfie stick, tripod. I've forgotten something. What have I forgotten? I got into the field, I forgot my detector and headphones. Can you beat that one? Or yeah, maybe you can beat it by leaving your detector at home. I've never done that yet. If you've done that, let me know. Right, so there we are. It's just this field I'm going to concentrate on for a couple of hours. I found plenty of pre-decimals in here, but there's also quite a bit of junk. We can also get through the gate next to that tree, but I think that's someone else's field, and I've learnt my lesson, so I'm not going to go in there. That field over there where the cows are is beside the river, and I'm hopefully going to be telling you a bit more about my plans for magnet fishing again this summer, a little bit later on. So for the moment, let's get digging. Right, first signal. I've only walked from there to here. It's not brilliant, but let's dig it. One-handed filming is not in my list of skills. Let's just hope we start off with something nice. Oops. There we go. Well, it's not in the plug. Sounds a bit better now, look. Alright, here we go. Oh, hang on, what's this? Oh, what a way to start the day. Oh, shotgun cartridge. Never mind, at least that's gone. And there's my second target. I was hoping as I pulled it out there might be something on the end, but there wasn't. Never mind. Next. It's a bit of a scratchy signal, but it's a good tone hidden in that signal. What could it be? Long way to find out. It's in the plug. So before I reveal it, let's have your guesses. Is it A, B, C, or D? Let's turn that around so you can see. Here we are. A piece of a lead. If you got that right, congratulations. Oh well, it's only a piece of lead. Never mind. Let's move on. This one sounds good after I've got the plug out of the ground. It wasn't so good before. There was a big boulder just there, which could have been affecting the signal. Oops, looks like it's in this piece. Where are we? Could it be a coin ball? Could it be my first coin today, maybe? Where are you? Oh, nope. I wonder what that is. I have no idea. I was expecting my first coin. Now it seems like today just might be a junk day for me. Never mind. I wonder if I'll find a coin today. He's not saying much, is he? Well, here's something that's just happened to me which might happen to you. If it hasn't already, it will in the future. I had a lovely signal there. Check the plug. Nothing. Check the hole. Nothing. Then I noticed I put my spade in the ground and a bit of dirt fell off. And if I put my coil over that piece, so let's check this out first, and then I'll tell you a story about, a true story, about something that happened. Now then. Ooh! Oh, I thought I got a silver coin. No, it's a button, but it could have been anything. Right, so here's a true story. I believe it happened on the Yorkshire Searchers. I can't quite remember where, but you've seen what just happened to me. A detectorist was walking over a field swinging. He looked down and saw a golden guinea just laying on the top of the ground. Couldn't believe his eyes. It was right beside a hole which had just been dug. How on earth could it possibly be there? But it was. So he picked it up. Good morning to you. Well, you would, wouldn't you? You'd pick it up. But nobody could make out how it had got there. And the only thing we could all deduce that happened was the same thing that happened to me just then. Instead of being a button, it was a gold coin. The only other explanation, although it wasn't wet and sticky that day, it could have been on the bottom of his boot, so after he filled the hole in, it fell off. But we tend to think that what I've just shown you is what happened to that person, and he'll never know. He'll never know it was him. So really you need to be a bit more careful when you lose a signal in a plug and a hole. Just check your spade. I'm sure many of you have done that already and have had it happen to you with various bits and pieces. So be careful, and I'm going to carry on swinging now. And because I know these fields so well, I would guess that that was probably a Victorian brooch or something you wear, but there's no pin mark on the back. That confuses me. I've not really found anything much older on here than Victoria. In fact, a lot of it is Victoria. So it could be that because it's beside the river there and it's flat, this could have been perhaps an area for a Victoria fairground. Now I have already got a permission, which I believe, and so does everybody else now when they put the evidence together, was actually a Victorian fairground beside the river. This could also be one. However, on the original fairground permission I found 750 coins minimum. I lost count at 750 on an area only the same size as this, which is about 4 acres. So it's possible. Oh, it's a bit warm. Not the drink, the weather. Well, I've now done a full circuit up the field, down the field, and not a great deal has come up. Not a coin yet, anyway. So I'm going to have to go back and have another go. At last, a coin, my first coin. I think I've well and truly dinged that one. Luckily it weren't a silver or anything valuable. It was deep, very, very quiet signal, could hardly hear it, but the tone and the quality of that signal was lovely. And it was a coin. Isn't that sweet? Best signal all day. Please be a coin. Silver coin would be even better. Now then. Oh, I struck something. I don't think that sounds like a coin. Check again. It's out. Doesn't sound like a silver coin now. So let's find it. Oh, I think I can see it. I think you can over there. It's a buckle or a attachment clasp of some sort, I think. Now either it hung on a strap like that downwards and there was something in the middle to read, or like a medal or something, or it was a belt loop of some description, but I don't know. Anyway, it's a find it's a find I've not had before, so let's go on to the next one. That was a deep penny. Very, very quiet signal, but that's because it was deep. And according to my knife blade and the handle, that was 10 inches right down in that corner. There. That one sounds nice. So I thought I'd take you over to see what comes up. I can see on there it's a Victoria. That's a widow head, so that's a late in her reign. And 1901. Yeah, the year she died. Happy with that. Well, that seems to be all I found today. Now this thing gave me a heart attack, because just like in the video I showed you earlier, it stuck to my shovel and it went on the ground in a piece off the spade. I turned around after I couldn't find it and saw that laying there, and I thought I'd got my first gold coin. How ironic that would have been. Well, there is a little stream running through this commission. It isn't much, very, very shallow, but there is a deep pool just there. As you can see, it's very, very shallow. It runs into the River Aire, which is right over by the road. So, I think I'll have a dip in there with the magnet. First of all, I better tie my magnet to the rope and make sure it doesn't slip. So I'll show you how to do that. For this, I'm going to need my magnet. That's a big one. It'll pull 120 kilos, and I'm not sure if that was my wisest purchase ever. I might have a job getting that off a big target. I'll need a rope, and that's what happened to the last one. It came off. It smashed. The magnet smashed inside. It actually it screwed through there into the magnet itself, and the magnet smashed and I lost it. I'm also going to need a couple of zip ties, strong ones, and some clips. First of all, let's cut this off. There are several knots that you could use, but after doing a lot of research, I'm going to use one which is simple to tie. It's called the Palomer knot, and it's as simple as this. Now, it's called the Palomer knot that I'm going to show you. It's really simple, really easy. It tightens when you pull it. You can get it off if you need to. Usually used on fishing, but you can use it on thick rope as well. And the way you start the knot is by making a very long U like this. It needs to be long, you'll see why. And then you put it through the loop. Bring it back over the loop and then put it through like that, as though you're tying a knot. Okay? And then the next important piece is to put the magnet through that loop before you pull it tight. So if you just keep working it like this, and pulling. You'll find that you've got a nice tight knot, and then you can zip tie. There we go. We're now ready. So let's go fishing. Well, it seems all I found in that one was a couple of bits of scrap. I'm sure there's more like that in there too. So I better try a bigger river next time.
Stephen is the man with the hat and the metal detector. Oh, oh. Walking the land, he's a treasure collector. Oh, oh. Metal detecting and digging lots of holes, looking for anything that's old. New videos every week, so please subscribe.